We need your help, Star Fox. Andross has declared war.
You know, I've never met a person who plays this game casually. At no point in the 13 years since its release have I come across someone who says, "Oh yeah, that game's okay, I guess." The only fans I've met are the diehards who can play Star Fox 64 with their eyes closed.
This is horrible.
One of the most underrated Nintendo games for the Nintendo 64, Star Fox 64 is a dangerously addictive game, capable of destroying relationships, classroom acumen, employment opportunities, and, as my nose has often detected, hygienic practices. I mean, there should have been an advisory on the box, a sticker, a label, something to warn people about Star Fox 64. A simulated highway upon which there's no destination but electronic enslavement. Consider this the warning Nintendo never provided. Star Fox 64 will entertain you, certainly, but after a couple of days, it'll also render you unable and unwilling to do anything else. Essentially an upgraded remake of the Super NES original, Star Fox 64 tells the story of Andross, a wicked scientist exiled to the barren planet of Venom. Without warning, Andross launches a series of deadly attacks across the Lylat planetary system, leaving the governing planet of Corneria no choice but to respond. The renowned Star Fox team, led by the talented young pilot Fox McCloud, is hired to lead Lylat's counteroffensive, and from within McCloud's cockpit, it's your job to drive back Venom's spreading armadas, locate Andross, and finally foil the madman for good. Fans of the first Star Fox should find the premise familiar. Star Fox 64 basically retells the story of the original, but with more narrative effort and detail, using real-time dialogue and cinematic sequences to great effect. And the similarities don't end there. The gameplay also recreates that simple, combat-focused approach of the original, but it makes some significant improvements too. Most obviously, the controls have been tightened, enabling far smoother gameplay than was possible in the original, and combat can also be carried out now with improved precision.
Do a barrel roll.
Of course, the ability to lock onto your targets has a lot to do with that. Given their repetitive nature, on-rails flight shooters often suffer from a seemingly inherent degree of tedium, but Star Fox 64 takes several strides to prevent monotony from setting in. Paramount in this effort is the game's elaborate system of branching pathways. Perhaps its most compelling feature, there are 25 possible routes you can take through Lylat's many diverse planets and sectors. Course selection is determined by performance, so any given playthrough of Star Fox 64 could feature different levels and objectives than the last. Add the prospect of discovering new worlds to the game's short length, addictive gameplay, and medal system, and it's easy to see why Star Fox 64 can be such a scourge to productivity.
Do a barrel roll. I guess it's your turn to be thankful.
Star Fox 64 is far from perfect, but it's tough to nitpick about a game so impossible to put down once you start playing. It may not have secured the distinguished legacy of Nintendo 64 games like Ocarina of Time or Super Mario 64, but that's only because those capable of penning that legacy can't put down their three-pronged controllers long enough to do so. And I'm no exception. I was supposed to write and record this last week. Curse you, Star Fox 64!
You're not as stupid as you look!